Hey, how's it going YouTube? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. So yeah, I'm finally back, and in today's video, in today's live stream, I will play a little bit with Greninja BREAK deck, so stay tuned. I'm just going to the ladder, and the first game will just start right now. Greninja BREAK finally received few good cards, few good tech cards that will dramatically help this deck to keep going on. So basically, what we have here is Greninja BREAK featuring Talonflame. A few copies of max potions, of course, and some other stuffs. I mean, you can even find yourself in a bad spot if on the other side you face up maybe Machoke with that ability which says that you can prevent all damage done to your benched or benched Pokemons in play with your opponent abilities, but it can also be easily fixed with a Hex Maniac. Actually, it cannot be fixed with the Hex Maniac. I'm talking just crap right now. Simply because if you try to play Hex Maniac, you can't John Water Shuriken your opponent on the bench. But it's okay. It's just 100 HP Pokemon, so it can easily be one hit knocked out anyway. Actually, 2 hit knocked out. But maybe even 1 hit knocked out if we manage to spread that John Water Shuriken earlier to our opponent Machoke. Not sure how many HP Machoke actually have, 60 or 70. I really need to check that. Okay, so looks like my opponent just passed the turn to me. I guess I will just attach 1 energy to my Froakie and play 1 copy of N. Interesting, pretty much nothing. Okay, at least right now I know that he can't knock out my Froakie, so that's at least something. And I also have that Ultra Ball, but not thinking about playing that Ultra Ball, to be honest. We'll just risk with that bubble anyways. So, Ampharos, 2 copies of Mareeps, and a Max Elixir. Will there also be an energy card? I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Yes, there we go. There is 1 copy of Lighting Energy. Okay, 2 energies in my turn. Means only 1 thing. I'm ready for 1 water duplicates here. Ooh, only 1 Frogadier. Okay. It can definitely be a better, but it can also be a worst. So, thinking about maybe just Ultra Ball next turn, the Max Potion and Field Blower maybe for another Froakie. At least I will have 2 Greninjas in play, so I'm more than happy with that. Even better. Even better, I can maybe Ultra Ball. Yeah, for 1 more Froakie, definitely. And that's gonna be like... yeah, that can even be a Shadow Stitching for like a 40. So I can prevent my opponent from maybe being able to use that Instruct, Setup, Wonder Tag, whatever. So he can't use any abilities until the end of his turn. So there is 1 more energy attached to that Mareep, which is kind of interesting. And Evo Soda for probably a Fluffy. Yeah, Ultra Ball for me and for that Greninja BREAK could definitely give me the advantage. Maybe knocking out or splashing damage counters to his bench. But as you can see, he just decided to Evo Soda into Fluffy. So at least I can grab 1 prize card here, which is gonna be a Dive Ball. Alright, not bad, especially if I can survive that Ampharos attack. I mean, on the one side, Greninja is still good, but on the other side, it's a decent, I should say that, because 240 HP, 250 HP GX Pokemons are very damn strong and powerful. Plus also on the other side, there's a lot of good grass decks at this moment in the standard format. Lurantis GX, for example, is the one of them. The CGI GX is the one of them. Plus, on the other side, Greninja BREAK can easily be destroyed by one card, and I'm not sure if you guys know the name of that card. Basically, the name of that card is that Promo Giratina that actually says that you can simply prevent your opponent break evolutions from attacking, which is just insane. There's another die ball, which is interesting. I can grab myself another Greninja, but unfortunately I don't have another energy available, which means that my turn will actually end right now. But at least I pulled already 2 prize cards, as expected. Okay, so another Evo Soda. So finally for the Ampharos. I'm not sure if it's the... yeah, it's the Ampharos. I'm not sure if they're gonna make Ampharos GX, but if they made Ampharos GX, I feel it's gonna be very broken. I'm not sure why, but something tells me that Ampharos GX could be very broken. Alright, Poison Barb, interesting. And that's gonna be like 60. At least I have Max Potion, so... Actually 80 because of Kukui. Yeah, definitely Max Potion, 1 copy of Super Rod, and Sycamore for 7. All I really need is like 3 energy cards and I can just completely destroy my opponent here. But looks like I'm not gonna get a single energy card. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Ultra Ball, definitely. For another Frogadier, and this looks to be pretty much it. Since I have another Max Potion sitting in my hand, of course I'm just gonna pass my turn, leaving my Greninja BREAK in the active spot, because with energy I can use John Water Shuriken, then I can retreat to my another Greninja and use another John Water Shuriken, and pretty much knocks out my opponent even without using a single attack, which means I'm not gonna be poisoned from the Poison Barb. Alright, 1 more energy on the Joltik, and Psychic for another 60. There we go. My top deck is a Field Blower. So far, I didn't need it, but I can definitely scrap that tool. Max Potion number 2, which was also my last Max Potion, and 1 copy of Professor Sycamore for nothing less but the 7 cards. So how many energies right now I can find? I see 2 of them, plus I also see 2 Froakies. Alright, and a Trainer's Mail. So it's gonna be for something like a Sycamore, since I already have 1. I don't know why I pull it into my hand, but anyways, I can max out the Joltik on the bench and grab 1 prize, which means I can maybe pull another energy card here. Yep, I can do that. Definitely time to retreat and to splash those John Water Shurikens. The bad thing about, or actually the good thing, whatever you want to call it, for some players probably it's going to be a good thing, for some players it's probably going to be a bad thing. I can strike for 60, which will be enough. The good or bad thing about Paralyze, Confuse, Poison, whatever, the effect of special ability or special condition your opponent can affect your active Pokemon. The bad thing about that is that you can simply still use your abilities. A few years ago, when there was a Pokebuddy, I guess, when your opponent paralyzed you, you were not able to pretty much use your abilities. In that time, they were actually not abilities, but Pokepowers. Yeah, I think I'm just pretty much happy with the Fisherman. I can grab myself 2 energy cards. And I can John Water Shuriken. Plus I can retreat to my another Greninja. And strike for the knockout with the Moonlight Slash. So there we go. Down to 1 prize, so even if he can ends me in some crazy way, I still have 1 energy available, so I can attack, plus I can then spread my John Water Shuriken. But I guess this is pretty much GG. So definitely looking forward for another battle here. Okay, so John Water Shuriken, and I can pretty much go with 1 Moonlight Slash, just not to retreat and complicate things here. So there we go, that's the GG. Just in case if you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in my video description, in case you don't know. Moving on to the another game. Alright, so would you like to go first? Yes, of course. Let's see what we can find here. Pretty much nothing. Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna play against the CGI, so this is definitely gonna be an interesting battle to watch. Okay, there we go with the Talonflame and a Froakie. So for me, that's a near perfect start. I also have 2 dive balls, which means I can set up a couple of Froakies on the bench. I need to explode as fast as I can, that's for sure. If my opponent managed to do item lock me turn 1, this is definitely not going to be good. This is definitely going to be a nightmare for me, but still I can pretty much escape the problem with that item lock. Okay, so there we go. This is going to be 1 splash energy, couple Froakies with those dive balls, and I'm gonna play my Sycamore for 7. Mainly here I'm gonna look for a water energy and maybe even super road, so I can just pretty much, you know, recycle back that Greninja into my deck. But looks like that's not gonna happen, at least for now. Well, Ultra Ball. I decided just to pass my turn for now. That's just pretty much it. Next turn, yeah, probably a die ball for Greninja, Frogadier into the Froakie into the Frogadier, and then water duplicate and stuff like that. Ooh, looks like there's not gonna be. Looks like there is not gonna be Vileplume since there's a Alolan Vulpix. That's even better for me. Okay, moving on to another game. Looks like my opponent decided to concede. Probably he didn't have nothing in his hand. Or he maybe just realized that probably he's not gonna be able to beat Greninja Break that easily. And he didn't want to waste his time, so I'm moving on to the another game. Alright, what we can get here? Heads would be perfect, but unfortunately it's a tails. I mean, in some situations, if you're starting with a Talonflame and if you're going second, then you can definitely be in a much better position. Actually, let's mulligan this hand. Just because I only have 1 Talonflame, and I really don't want to play Sycamore discarding 2 VS Seekers, Greninja, and Super Road. I feel how this is just gonna be completely useless. And I still need to replace probably also that Super Road, maybe. I'm still thinking about maybe replacing Super Road with Rescue Stretcher. Oh, this hand was just so damn bad. This looks a little bit better actually. I can live with this. At least I have energy, so I can Aero Blitz. Plus on the other side, there's a Trainer's Mail. Plus Fisherman. It's important to have Fisherman for late game or mid game in your discard pile with deck like Greninja. So I'm gonna definitely discard him. Yeah, the bad thing is that I'm gonna probably lose my special energy. Actually, I'm gonna lose it for sure. Oh, Taurus on the other side. Ooh, alright. If I strike for 40, Taurus can go for like 120. 130 would be... Yeah, right now he's definitely gonna be able to go for like 150, maybe even more. And my opponent decide to end. Alright, so anyways. At least I started with the Talonflame, so I'm not gonna complain. Trainer's Mail, Field Blower, which is a good one. 2 energies in the max potion. But I need Pokemon for sure, because if I don't find one, I'm not sure how this game will go on. I can definitely tell that. And he already grabbed that Ultra Ball for the... Oh, another energy card. A Trainer's Mail for a Die Ball. Whew. Okay, okay. Looks like save of the day here. Yeah, I definitely need to use my Aero Blitz. I really don't have another choice here, so that's gonna be the Aero Blitz. Mainly it's gonna be for one Frogadier, and more than that, I'm just looking forward, maybe even here to grab myself something like a N. Or maybe I can take the... I don't know if he's just gonna try to knocks me out with his Tauros. I'm not gonna take the risk with the Ace Trainer. I would definitely do that if I'm 100% sure that he's just gonna use the Mad Bull GX for the knockout. But since I can't know if he have energy and if he will try to use a Mad Bull GX, I just decided to grab that N. Field Blower is a very important card, and I really don't want to discard it. Same as the V-Seeker. Once again, I'm gonna repeat that. So, he decided to strike for 70, and I'm not gonna complain against that. I'm not gonna complain against that. That's just for sure. I'm not gonna even waste my resources here. Speaking about resources, I'm just gonna end my opponent. I hope I'm not gonna grab... Okay, no sign of the Frogadier, which is just perfect. Let me see. I have 3 more Frogadiers, which means I'm just gonna water duplicate for 3 of them and put them onto my bench. That's just insane. I have 4 Frogadiers, and there's also Talonflame for the late game on my bench, which will allow me to switch my deck for a Field Blower in the crucial moment. So far, my opponent just trying to do something with his Tauros in the active spot. Right now, he's even short for like 10 damage counters to do something like 1-hit nugget against my Frogadier. Theoretically, next turn I can attack for like 80. Oh, there we go. There's a Lysandre for my Talonflame, and that's just gonna be a Rage for the knockout. Actually, he can Rage for 70. Yeah, I always forget about it. Anyways, Ace Trainer is a top deck. Ooh, this is literally the best top deck I could get. So right now I'm just gonna put my opponent down to only 3 cards in his hand. And before I do that, I can play Field Blower. Why not? I also have 1 more left. So there we go with the Choice Band. So I can even do more damage counters to my opponent. And of course Ace Trainer. Oh, that's gonna be very broken. So he's going down to 3 cards. There's another Greninja plus Greninja Break. There we go, which means next turn I will have Greninja Break for sure. Plus I can also put my Splash Energy into my hand and onto my Greninja, and then it's gonna be like 110. Short for 20 for the knockout, but at least I have my splash energy available attached on my Greninja, which means after he decides to knock out my Greninja, with his rage of course, it will go back to my hand. And if there's not going to be a tool for my opponent attached on his Garbodor, I will just knock out his towers with my John Water Shuriken. So there we go with the Ultra Ball for another Trubbish. Okay, so N. One copy of the N. Another Field Blower. I really like that. So with the Field Blower, I know that for 100%, I can just John Water Shuriken my opponent Tauros. Oh, he decided to go with the Mad Bull GX, so that's just insane. I wouldn't personally do that. But why not if you can? So, I didn't pull a single prize card so far. This is gonna be one Silent Lab. And I'm thinking about energy attachment and playing something like a N. So if I miss my Greninja Break and energy card... Oh! Okay, there we go. A Greninja Break plus the energy. So that's gonna be one John Water Shuriken. Down to my opponent Tauros. For the two prize cards. So we are equal right now with the prize cards. And I even managed to find one more energy card. I'm thinking about promoting. Probably my opponent will promote that Drampa in the active spot. Maybe he don't do it, but I'm expecting to see Drampa. Okay, so that's just gonna be a Shadow Snitching for like a 40. I can do that, mainly because it's enough probably to knock out my opponent Garbodor. Actually, it's not if you play another one with 110 HP. But at least there's a Float Stone. There's a Float Stone attached onto his Garbodor on the bench, so he basically decided to say no more abilities. On the other side, that's just okay. There's a Rescue Stretcher, which is probably going to be for a Tauros. Yes, it is. So what I need here? I need another Field Blower. And... yeah, there we go. Field Blower from my opponent's side. It will just clear my Silent Lab, and that's just going to be it. And one Sycamore for 7. Okay. Lysander discarded. So, what can I do here? Let me see. This is a very dangerous situation, and I can tell only one thing. I can probably Lysander, or maybe even better. Yeah, let's take the risk. Lysander down to my opponent Garbodor. Retreating down to my Greninja and using my Moonlight Slash for like the 80. Okay, so I have more than enough item cards in my discard pile, I guess. There is 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like 160. So he can't one-hit knock on my Greninja Break, but obviously he can one-hit knock on my Greninja. It's okay. He can have Greninja. But for me, Field Blower right now will just destroy my opponent. Flowstone from the Garbodor, which means I can also pull maybe double knockout in that turn. And after that, I will just need to focus one of his GXs. He attached Sudowoodo on the bench. At this moment, Sudowoodo is just useless, which is a good thing. But this is going to be one Trash Avalanche for the knockout. And as expected, if I can pull right now, there we go with the VS Seeker. So I know that I'm going to just Ace Trainer my opponent, but he decided to end me, which is maybe even better for me, especially if I can pull a VS Seeker and maybe Field Blower. Okay, Dive Ball, a Trainer's Mail, a Splash Energy, and a few other good cards. So let's just promote that Greninja Break. And the Trainer's Mail. Ooh, Max Potion. But there's a catch with the Max Potion, of course. If I play my Max Potion, then my opponent obviously can strike for like more than enough. But I will just do it so I can have one extra energy available. In my discard pile. And after that, this is just gonna be a one-hit knockout with my Moonlight Slash for the 80. So I can still preserve my Splash Energy for later. And basically he don't have another Garbodor available in play, which means without Wally he can't even have another Garbodor in play. So he's definitely forced to move that Drampa in the active spot. Where on the other side, I can simply strike for like 140 that Drampa on the next turn. Plus I can also have full HP Greninja available. Which means my opponent can go for like 150 again with the Drampa. So not gonna be one hit knocked against my Greninja without Professor Kukui. But I don't feel how my opponent actually have Kukui in his deck. So I'm gonna be just fine. Alright. Still waiting to see what he can do with the Dramp. I mean, basically, he did that mistake when he used that Mad Ball GX with his Towers GX. I'm not sure why he did that. That was completely horrible. It was definitely the biggest mistake that my opponent actually did in this game. So yeah, I'm definitely moving on to my Greninja Break. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I completely forget about that Garbodor on the bench. But anyways, never mind. It's just perfectly fine. I will preserve my Greninja Break again, even if he can find energy and even if he can strike for 150. It's better to have Greninja Break and Greninja, and for the next turn also one of these two at least in play instead of the one. So can he go for 150? There's a Floatstone. Alright. And retreat down to another Drampa with the DC. So that's gonna be 150. That's gonna be the 150. Not good, not good, not good, and once again not good. But at least I will try with my Moonlight Slash to strike for like a 60, not discarding my energy from Greninja. So if he wants, he can strike me for like 20, discarding my Splash Energy, but after that I can attack him for like a 80. didn't even want to attach my Greninja Break from my hand. I mean, definitely not smart. I'm not sure if he even has something like enhanced hammer. So we'll just be patient here a little bit. Okay, Ultra Ball for a Tapu Lele, but Tapu Lele at this moment is just useless as long as he have that Flowstone attached to the Garbodor, and that's gonna be the 150. So that's gonna be the knockout, and I will have my Greninja promoted in the active spot, of course, and just another Greninja Break. That's not good. That's not good at all. So I can't do too much. I can just strike for like 80 and that's it. So I basically need Field Blower so badly. I guess for like 3 or 4 turns I didn't top deck nothing. I mean, I still have one more max potion left, so yeah. Right now I'm gonna be knocked out, and the best top deck for me is just any sort of the V-Seeker or N, so I can just grab myself and put my opponent down to 1 card. But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. N is all I really need. N is all I really need, because probably the another ooh, a Field Blower. No way. No way that this just happened. No way that this has just happened right now. So Field Blower actually gave me the victory here. That's the beauty of the Greninja deck. That's the real beauty of the Greninja deck. I mean, from nowhere, you can actually surprise your opponent and completely win the game. So that Field Blower as a top deck was, I guess, the best move in the last few days that I actually played. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I mean, this was in the Yu-Gi-Oh style. That top deck was just like you're watching the cartoon where the Yugi says you need to believe in your cards, so something like that. Anyways, moving on to the another battle. I won the coin flip, so I'm gonna start second actually, since I'm running that Talonflame and I'm not have a single. I didn't have a single available wall in my deck, so I will definitely start second with my Talonflame. I can just use my Ira Blitz. Going first, it will not change things too much. So yeah, I'm just gonna start second. I mean, I would probably go first if I don't know against what type of the deck I play in real life. So if I'm playing in the tournament, I would definitely go first. But since I'm going second here in the TCGO, and since I saw that my opponent ran fighting deck, I know that he don't have Wild Bloom inside, so I really don't need to worry if I'm gonna start first or second. All right, so this is a pretty good stadium card. Brooklet Hill. Once during a turn, that player might search his deck for a basic water Pokemon or fighting Pokemon and put it onto his bench. This will definitely help me to set up my Froakies, which means I can definitely keep my die ball for something like the Frogadier. And that's gonna be start with the Shaman and set up with the Shaman, and Choice Band attached to that Shaman. That's interesting. If I can find myself Choice Band, I can strike Shaman for like a 70. So yeah, definitely striking for like 70, it's not bad at all. With single energy card, being able to strike for 70, ridiculous. Alright. Speaking about top deck, just managed to grab pretty good card as the top deck. Let's see. A Trainer's Mail, pretty much for nothing. I'm fine with my Ira Blitz. I'm striking for like 70, and I'm looking forward to get myself one more Froakie and something like... I can definitely go with something like a Silent Lab, but this stage of the game is not going to be that useful. So I'm thinking about just grabbing one Splash Energy, so I can have that Splash Energy attached to my Frogadier. Next turn, I'm gonna put another Froakie on the bench, and basically I'm gonna put that die ball for the Frogadier. So there is another strong energy attached to my opponent Rockruff, and it's my turn. This is so bad for my opponent. That Shaman, it's gonna be knocked out right now. I mean, I can definitely do that, and I don't see a reason why I wouldn't grab 2 prize cards here. Because maybe it's just gonna be a little bit too late if I don't decide to knock out my opponent's Shaman right here. So I will definitely use the advantage of my Aura Blitz for 70. And I will search myself for like another Frogadier and something like a Greninja. I can definitely do that. Plus I can take 2 prize cards, so that's the Ultra Ball and a Water Energy. Okay, I can right now probably expect if he can find Lycanroc, one hit knock against my Talonflame. The good thing is that for now he can simply strike for like 70 minus 20 is gonna be like 50. Literally that's gonna be it. Yeah, Wild Kick. That's it. That's just like 50. And got myself another Frogadier here. I will also grab one more Froakie. This is just very sweet here. It's definitely time for my Greninja to strike attack. To start to attack actually. And I can even knock out my opponent with the Moonlight Slash. Yeah, I will just return 1 energy into my hand. Next turn, Ultra Ball for another Greninja. Then I can play my Greninja Break from my hand. I can John Water Shuriken one of my opponent Rockruff on the bench. Plus, I can maybe even just go for the knock against his Shaman. I can maybe even win the game next turn. It will depend on the top deck. But yeah, anyways, that was very unlucky start for my opponent. I guess he should go maybe better. Yeah, he probably... let's see something. Greninja Break, John Water Shuriken, down to his Rockruff, and I just need Choice Band for the victory. Can I find somehow Choice Band maybe? Nope. Nope, I can't. But I can Ultra Ball for another Frogadier. And I will just VD Seeker for the Lysander, and Lysander he's Shaman. So we can pretty much end the game next turn. There we go. And this is just gonna be Shadow Snatching for like 40. So he can't even set up in case if he managed to get Shaman or Tapu Lele. I'm not gonna allow him even to set up here. I mean, Greninja is still very good. It's a still very good deck, and good thing about Greninja is that actually Greninja drops in the price dramatically. It's not anymore 15 bucks a piece. It's like maybe 3 to 4, 5 bucks a piece, and that's more than better for new players. So yeah, he decided to concede. Let's move on to the another battle. I think I'm gonna play 2 more battles for the day live stream, and that's gonna be it. So far, I actually have a pretty successful day. Oh, okay. So, Fighting, Colress, Psychic, and Fire. All right. I hope they're gonna print Flareon GX and Vaporeon GX. I would really love to see Vaporeon GX, also Jolteon GX. I mean, one of my favorite Jolteon cards were definitely Jolteon from the Plasma Storm, or actually, no, it was from the Plasma Freeze. It was from the Plasma Freeze for 2 Colress energies, or for 2... I still can't remember if it was for 2 Colress... It was, I think, for 1 Lightning Energy and for 1 Colress Energy. 40... Plus it was Plasma Pokemon, so with the Deoxys it can be like 80 with 4 Deoxys on your bench, and with the Muscle Band like 100, and your opponent EX Pokemon was not able to attack your Jolteon next turn, and back then there was no Pokemon Ranger, so that Jolteon was just broken. I remember myself playing this deck and playing that Jolteon at my local tournament, smashing all of my opponents without too many problems, because they didn't know how to play against that deck. All of them were just playing EX decks, heavy EX decks like Virizion Genesect, and that Jolteon was just such a good card back then. And of course, once you show up with something, they just make strategy for the next turn, and pretty much that card is not that good anymore as it was. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, let me just draw 1 extra card. So that's gonna be another die ball here for another Froakie. It's very important, as the trainer's mail is pretty much for nothing. I don't feel comfortable discarding my max potion. I feel how I'm gonna need it, so that's just gonna be 1 copy of N. Oh, and that's it. I can't bubble. But what I can do is I can attach my Splash Energy, but I don't even feel comfortable attaching my Splash Energy because I know that my opponent can't go right now for that 1-hit knockout with any of his evolutions. If he can attach Psychic Energy, yes, he can have that Espeon GX who's capable to strike for like 30, 40. 50 max, but no, it's gonna go for like 30 actually, just 30, and that's it. Darkness Energy means that he will grab himself a Umbreon. Alright, still can strike for like 30 with the Strafe. Still not enough for a 1-hit knockout, which means my Froakie will see another day. And I'm also gonna see a Frogadier and a Trainer's Mail. And a Trainer's Mail for something like a Silent Lab. Plus I can also V-Seeker myself for N. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't do that right now, simply because I can. Okay, not bad. Water Duplicate. How many Frogadiers we can find? 3 of them in total. Okay, that's just sweet. 3 more Frogadiers, and I feel pretty comfortable right now, and also very confident against my opponent Umbreon GX. With a double Course Energy, of course, he can Shadow Bullet, strike my Frogadier for the knockout, and spread 3 damage counters to his Froakie. Then with the Lysander, he can knock out my Froakie again and another Froakie, so he can pull 2 prize cards in a single turn. I really need to take that with a lot of, not sure even how to say that. Okay. So at least I pulled Greninja after that end. Silent Lab right now will just work perfectly. There's a Float Stone on the Oranguru. Another Darkness Energy attachment to his Eevee will not activate that Energy Evolution, so that's gonna be just strafe for like 30 and retreat down probably to Oranguru. But he decided to keep his. Okay, he decided to keep him in the front. I'm fine with that. I will just respawn back with my Field Blower. On the one side, I feel very bad for my opponent because he didn't pull too many good cards. He pretty much didn't pull anything good here. To go or not to go for another Greninja? That's just a question right now. Let's go for another Greninja. Let's go for it. Moonlight Slash 110. Water energy can be returned back to my hand. And yeah, that's 110. That's a lot of damage counters with single energy card. That Greninja is so broken. There's a Sycamore for 7, so Tapu Lele discarded. Ooh, alright. That was a big deal. Forcing my opponent not to be able to play Tapu Lele. But against Greninja Break, you really don't want to play Tapu Lele, that's for sure. This is going to be the knockout with the Shadow Bullet for like 90, and 3 damage counters will goes down to my Frogadier. Luckily, I have that Splash Energy attached, which means I can bring back my complete Greninja line back into my hand. Plus, I also managed to top deck my Greninja Break, which is just insane. It will allows me to go for the one-hit knock against one of my opponent benched Pokemons. And you can guess what, I will just definitely go for the Zorua, because with the Zoroark, double Course Energy will be a lot of damage counters for my opponent, and I really don't want to afford him to do that. Unfortunately, I can't go for the one-hit knockout in this case against his Umbreon, since I can strike only for 80, but I really don't want to allow him to put that Zoroark in play. Next turn I can simply John Water Shuriken and one-hit knockout his Umbreon. Even better, maybe I even top deck myself Max Potion, and I can then simply completely heal all damage counters on my active Greninja Break. But who knows, maybe my opponent also plays something like a Max Potion and he just decides to Max Potion his Umbreon GX. Everything can happen. Okay, Shadow Bullet. 3 damage counters down to my Frogadier, or maybe, yep, to my Frogadier. So he definitely wants to set up double knockout here, and looks like so far that's probably gonna happen for my opponent. Maybe not, we shall see. Maybe I can pull a die ball for my prize cards, and took another knockout. Oh, there's a, oh, there we go, there's a die ball. There's a dive ball. Alright, that dive ball is gonna be very broken. It will allows me to take another Greninja Break. So I can take one more knockout against my opponent Zorua, even without using my attack. That's just insane. There you go. So I can pull one more prize card, which is gonna be a Ultra Ball. You gotta be kidding me. And that Ultra Ball will allows me to take another Greninja and put it into my play, but he just decided to concede. Alright, so let's move on to the last game in today's video. Just in case if you came later to the live stream, you're gonna be able to watch the entire video from the beginning after the live streams end. You can find the link for the deck list in my video description. So yeah, everything you need to know can be found in my video description. Okay, let's call the heads. Unfortunately for me, it's a tails. I just say unfortunately because I don't need to worry too much about that tails. Because if I'm starting second with a Talonflame, that's just more than okay. Oh, Froakie. I'm close to be red alert, but I'm okay. I have 2 Trainer's Mails, Ultra Ball, plus I also have Splash Energy available. That Splash Energy is all you really need. Ooh, Gyarados EX. Okay, that's gonna be interesting deck. Gyarados EX with the Aqua patches and stuff like that. That's just pretty badass. There's one Pokemon fan club. I actually must say that Pokemon fan club went from like $7 to 15, and it will still keep going on in the price, especially if the Pokemon fan club stays in the standard format, and if the shaming, of course, goes out of the rotation. You can guess why. Because fan club will allow you to search your deck for any 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them, and put into your hand. I think it's a very good card. I think personally it's a very good card, especially for something like double Tapu Lele play, where you can simply grab 2 Tapu Leles and put them into your hand. On the other side of it, the Bridget. Bridget is also a good one, but Bridget is not good for the Tapu Lele pick. If you want to go with a Bridget, you simply can't play Tapu Lele effect. So that's it. You're forced, like the Nazball, put them onto your bench immediately. I mean, Bridget can definitely search 3 GXs, so you can put them onto your bench. But again, it's not good as the fan club. Just my personal opinion. So there was no heads on the bubble, but it's okay. There's a double Chorus energy, which is not okay at all, and a Skyla. Okay, so it might be for Evo. Let's say not Evo setup, but Max Elixir Energy Switch combo. Ooh, everything is possible. Everything can happen, but I hope that's not gonna happen. Fighting Fury Belt. I mean, there's one good thing about Gyarados. If you really want to run Gyarados in your Lapras GX deck with that Stormy Seas, then I have actually one advice for you. Run Stormy Seas, Gyarados EX, so you can turn 1 flip coins and maybe possibly attach 2 more engines to your Gyarados. Then use Ninja Boy so you can swap your Gyarados into the Lapras. That's all you really need. You don't need more than that, trust me. That's gonna be 1 water duplicate, and it's gonna be for 3 extra Frogadiers. So I'm ready to go next turn very hard. But unfortunately, at this moment, I don't have a single energy available, which is a very bad side. This deck does 10 damage to each of your benched Pokemon. Okay, it will not affect my bench at least. But I need Drought Supporter so badly. I need my Drought Supporter so badly. I have plenty of die balls available, which means I will have plenty of Greninjas next turn, 3 in total. Of course, if my opponent don't decide to end. I discarded 2 VA Seekers, I discarded Sycamore. I mean, I have 8 Drought Supporters. For example, VA Seeker for another Skyla. That's just fine. I remember 2012 when some decks actually run 4 copies of Skyla. Of course, budget versions run 4 copies of Skylas, but for example, Blastoise Keldeo with a Tropical Beach, that was one of the strongest decks back then. But actually, Virizion Genesect won the World Championship. I'm not sure if it was in the Master Division or in the Senior Division, but I actually think it was in the Senior Division. I think the Master Division actually Jason won with the interesting. With the Darkrai. My opponent just decides to Mega Evolve into his Mega Gyarados, and I would definitely say that was huge mistake. But on the other side, you really can't know what you can expect from your opponent. I feel comfortable striking for like 90 here and not returning my energy back to my hand. Even if he can knock me out, next turn I can just shoot him with 2 John Water Shurikens and 1 Moonlight Slash, which will be more than enough for the knockout. Plus I also have Choice Band available. And 2 Greninja Breaks and N in my hand. So let's see what my opponent is capable to do. He can definitely strike with the Blazed Gazier for like 140. But then he needs to discard the top 2 cards from his deck. So that's a Beasley hand for 1. I mean, he can even retreat, for example, his Mega Gyarados down to the bench because he have Manaphy, and maybe use just Collect and drop 3 extra cards. There's plenty of options, of course. But I already managed to set up more than enough Greninjas in play. I mean, I will have 2 Greninja Breaks next turn and also 1 Greninja plus 1 Froakie on my bench available. And this is the Blessed Gazier. And it's for like 140. 160 plus Fighting Fury Belt 170. Exactly enough for the 1-hit knockout against my Greninja. Actually, Greninja Break. Like the fact that I have Silent Lab available. So at this moment, I will just discard as many cards as I can. So I can N for maybe 2 energies, and I managed just to get 1 of them. So it's not even worth to play my John Water Shuriken. I will just strike for like 110 and that's just it. Next turn, John Water Shuriken will definitely 1-hit knock out my opponent Mega Gyarados. And then I can simply Rescue Stretcher for my Mega... no, not gonna happen. Not gonna... I was too fast. So if I go with my John Water Shuriken, it's gonna be just 60. So not gonna be enough for the knockout against his Mega Gyarados. Anyway, I will definitely need to strike with my Moonlight Slash. But I'm actually scared right now. What if my opponent just decides to retreat and strike me for like 100 of the Ice Beam GX? Well, that's gonna be very bad for me. There's a Gyarados Spirit Link which will go down to Octillery. No, why in the world would you do that? That's the noobish mistake. You really don't want to do that, because right now I can simply Lysander his Octillery and he can lose like 2 turns, where on the other side I can just spread my John Water Shurikens. You really don't want to do stuff like that. That was just unnecessary move with that Gyarados Spirit Link. I can definitely tell that. If you really want to get rid of the Gyarados Spirit Link, Skyla for Ultra Ball and search yourself Ultra Ball and discard that Spirit Link into your discard pile. And I really don't know why he didn't do that. He's Skyla for the Fighting Fury Belt, so he can go for the 1-hit knockout with his Blizzard Bird. Obviously, it's a very good move. That Rhapsody is just destroyed my day. Oh, or maybe not. Yep, that's gonna be good play at the end. So I have actually 2 John Water Shurikens for the knockout against his Mega Gyarados, and he can't use that Ice Beam GX again. There's a Sycamore and another Water Energy. What I'm gonna do here is I'm first gonna use my Field Blower, and I'm also gonna discard that Rough Seas from play. How many special energies? I played 1 of them, so I'm not gonna take the risk. We'll just use my Rescue Stretcher, and we'll shuffle back my Greninja line into my deck, and of course Sycamore for 7, so I can get rid of my Talonflames. Okay, what else I can find here? For example, 1 Greninja. And for example, Trainer's Mail maybe 4. Nope, there is no more choice bands available. Which means I'm not gonna attempt to waste my Trainer's Mail. I'm just gonna go with my Moonlight Slash, which will be for like 80. And next turn, 2 John Water Shurikens are gonna be more than enough for the knockout against my opponent Lapras. Of course, if he can't find Max Potion. Not a Max Potion, but the Rough Seas. It's like 30 degrees outside and it's pretty damn hot. It's pretty damn hot. I'm just looking forward to end this game and probably go to the sleep. It's almost midnight. I'm not sure how much time is elsewhere. But I hope you guys enjoy watching this live stream. I will try to play again tomorrow. I also have limit on my internet connection. I can't use more than 100 gigabytes per month, which is just ridiculous. And unfortunately, I can't play too many live streams because 1 hour of the live stream use like 2 gigabytes, and that's just way too much. Plus, I also need my internet network for another internet traffic for another work that I do. And of course, if I want to upload another video, it will just be like 1 gigabyte anyway. So yeah, it's very hard for me to have live stream every day. I would really like to have live stream every day for like 3-4 hours, but it's not possible at this moment, unfortunately. Let me see something. Yeah, I can definitely go for the knockout against his Manaphy, so at least I can force him not to be in a position to use that Manaphy for the free retreat. Something like Escape Rope can also be very good card in Greninja Break deck, because right now, let's say I have Escape Rope, I can pretty much use it, and I can swap to maybe third Greninja in play and use another John Water Shuriken. This is the Super Road, which I'm definitely gonna use, and I will just recycle some of the water energies back into my deck. Then I can go with my VS Seeker for something like a Sycamore, grab myself a fresh hand of 7 new cards, maybe even find more Ultra Balls so I can discard more cards from my hand, which is actually gonna happen. Oh, I almost discarded my Greninja Break. So another Greninja for me and another Greninja Break. And I think I don't need to worry too much about this game. So that's gonna be 1 Moonlight Slash, but it's gonna be only for like 60. And 2 more John Water Shurikens will definitely be more than enough for the knockout against his Lapras. He can definitely retreat if he can find another energy, but then another Lapras will just be knocked out without Rough Seas anyways with 2 John Water Shurikens. So yeah, 2 energies available, which means he can pay energy retreat cost, retreat of 2 colorless energies or 2 any type energies in order to retreat your Lapras to another Lapras, so he can maybe strike with the Blizzard Burn. But even if he can do that, he can't go for the one-hit knockout against my Greninja. But even if he have Fighting Fury Belt, he can strike for like 170. But I can return back my Greninja Break into my hand, and that's still not gonna work for my opponent. I didn't see. Oh, that's another Skyla. It might be for a Rough Seas. It might be for something like the Fighting Fury Belt, but it's too late. I already have 3 Greninja Breaks set up, ready to rock and roll. They're dancing with the Shurikens, and that's pretty much the GG. So that's the Skyla for the Rough Seas. It will help my opponent to reduce some of the damage counters from his Lapras, and of course, better decision and better choice in my opinion might be if he just decided to take the risk with the EN. So that's just collect. Okay, that's it. That's the GG, unfortunately. I have even 3 energies available, so that's gonna be John Water Shuriken, And I need to retreat to my another Greninja break so I can use another Giant Water Shuriken. And then I can simply strike with my Shadow Snitching, for example, which is more than enough for the knockout. And that's it. That's the knockout, and right now you're finally gonna see this deck at your screen. So there we go. Pretty much very simple deck list that I used to play in today's live stream. The possible tech, as I mentioned it, just in the case of the mirror matches, or maybe if you're afraid about item lock, you can definitely run one copy of Hexmaniac. The second thing that you might think about running is going to be Escape Rope, any of these two cards. If you're looking forward to play a Talonflame version of the deck, this is, in my opinion, very good version of this deck. You might also think about maybe just doing something like that. There you go, swapping one basic energy for extra splash energy, so you can have more and better consistency. When you lose one of your Greninja or Greninja breaks, you can simply put them back into your hand and just contain that energy, that evolution chamber without too many problems. But yeah, this was the deck list that I used to play in today's video. I'm actually going to show you my game stats. So I played 14 games overall. I managed to win 11 of 14 games, and I actually have 9 wins since my last edit. So I actually tweaked this deck to be near perfect before I actually start to play with it and before I actually start to record videos on the YouTube. And as you can see, I have 90% win ratio with this build, and I played against few bad decks and against top competitive decks, and actually managed to score a pretty good result against them, so I'm more than happy. Anyways, guys, if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on ccgcastle.com. As always, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you already didn't, and please make sure to hit that likes up on this video to help me a little bit to grow my channel. And that's pretty much it for today's live stream. Thanks again to everyone who participated in today's live stream. We'll definitely see you next time, so take care and have a nice day wherever you are. So we'll see you next time. So good night, or a goodbye, or a good day. So we'll see you next time.